Let's get on with the first email today. And the first email today comes to us from Verhan Mushar Heyman, who writes, "Greetings and salutations, Mr. Campea. I grew up watching old Tom and Jerry cartoons, and I just read that they're doing a live-action animation mixed Tom and Jerry movie. The only problem is Tim Story is directing it. Isn't he the same guy who did those terrible Fantastic Four movies? Why? All right, thanks a lot for the question, man. And you know what's funny? I swear it was only a couple of weeks ago. I think somebody in like one of the live question segments of either Open Mic or the John Campea Show, I think it was only a couple of weeks ago that somebody actually asked if I thought they would do a Tom and Jerry show. I said, hey man, anything's possible. I doubt it. It seems like a little old. I think that Tom and Jerry got created like in the 40s. So I think it's a little far removed, so I doubt it. I mean, anything's possible. They could do it, but I doubt it. And here we are. They're doing a Tom and Jerry live action / animated hybrid film, which probably means Tom and Jerry will be animated. The rest of them is going to be, everything else is going to be live action. And they are doing Tim's Story is coming along. Now, on top of that, not only did they announce like some developments in Tom and Jerry, we've known for a while that they're looking at doing a new Scooby-Doo animated film. And they announced that Chris Columbus has come on as a producer. Now, the last I heard, this is going back a number of months, Dax Shepard is supposed to be directing the Scooby-Doo animated film. Actually, I thought he was even writing it. But anyway, Dax Shepard was supposed to be directing it, which I like Dax Shepard very much, but I have not liked his directorial efforts. I did not like what he did with Hit and Run. He just did Chips recently, which was god-awful. Like, just awful. Terrible. He wasn't a bad star in it, but the movie itself was horrendous, and you got to put that on the director. So I don't know about that. The more intriguing thing, though, to me, though, is the Tom and Jerry thing. And getting back now, I think, you know what's funny? I bet you more people today know Itchy and Scratchy, which were based on Tom and Jerry. But I bet you today more people recognize the name Itchy and Scratchy from The Simpsons than they do Tom and Jerry. Anyway, Tim's Story, it's not just the Fantastic Four films. Tim Story's directed a lot. Some not so bad. Some pretty bad. Let's look at some of the more notable films from director Tim Story. Of course, he did Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four 2, and those were awful. He did Ride Along, which actually is not that bad. I like Ride Along. But then he did Ride Along 2, which was just terrible. He did Taxi, which was terrible. Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah. Awful. I'm come see come saw on Barbershop, and I actually like the Think Like a Man movies. I think Think Like a Man movies were pretty fun, very, very light, very charming, very innocent enough. Not huge risks, but some pretty good entertainment. So Think Like a Man 1 and 2, I didn't mind those. Boy, Tim Story likes doing those sequels. Fantastic Four 1 and 2, Ride Along 1 and 2, Think Like a Man 1 and 2. Anyway, so kind of a mix. Out of these three, I really don't mind the Think Like a Man movies, and I don't mind Ride Along at all. Actually, I enjoy Ride Along. I think that was pretty good, but then again, he followed up with Ride Along 2, and there you go. What makes Tim Story the right guy to do a Tom and Jerry movie? I'm not sure. Look, I have no problem with him taking a shot at Tom and Jerry. I just got to admit, though, if you sat down with me and said, list 30 directors, 30, that you could see doing a Tom and Jerry movie, and I took a couple hours and wrote out a list of Tim Story wouldn't have been on the list. So I think that's an intriguing addition. I am curious to see how this goes. I mean, could it be great and classic like Babe? Or could it be the next Garfield movie? I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm glad they're doing it. I didn't think they would. And here we are. Let's see what Tim Story can do with that. I'm a little bit nervous about it, to be honest. All right. Let's move on to email number 2.